Hi, Gabby from Ray Studios here, and today I'm very excited because I'm gonna be one of the first ones to get to review the Viltrox 20mm f1.8 for Sony full-frame mirrorless cameras. Let's see what's in the box. Well, inside the box we can find the guarantee card, which is in English and Chinese. There is also an instructions manual, and there is all the features of this lens. There is a carrying bag, and there is not padded, so it only offers protection against scratches. There is a 82mm filter thread adapter and the lens itself. The lens comes with this pretty big lens cap. That's because the front element is coming out of the lens basically, and it's quite a nice looking lens. It comes with a metal lens hood. As a matter of fact, the entire lens, it is made of metal, including the mount. And to be honest, once you hold this lens in your hands, you can immediately feel the quality of it. It feels really good. There is a bit of weight to it, but it's not that heavy. You can see here how the front element is really sticking out of the lens. So you might really want to put the hood to protect that glass. You really don't want to scratch that glass. The focusing ring and the aperture ring, they both turn very smoothly, and the aperture ring doesn't have clicks to it, so it's pretty useful for video as well. Here you can look how I mount the 82mm adapter, and it basically a screw on top, same as the lens hood. So it's basically another lens hood that you have that is a little bit shorter. It probably won't offer as much protection as the other one, but it probably will if you put a filter, either a UV or ND or polarizer. So let's try to mount this into the Sony A7R Mark II. You can see right next to the camera that it is a little bit big. I think when it comes to size, shape and weight, it's a little bit similar to the Sony size, 16mm to 35mm f4. It might be a tiny little bit bigger and heavier, but all in all, it is similar to that lens, and I will say it's a pretty nice looking lens. So here I shoot at the very dirty window on the office, but the idea is here to show you a very high contrast image, so we can take a look at the corner sharpness and also at the chromatic aberration. As you can see at f1.8 wide open, there is a decent amount of sharpness in the corner. The thing is, there is no chromatic aberration. I mean, there is very little chromatic aberration, and that was with all the pictures I shoot, not just this, but this is a very clear example. I don't really emphasize too much on showing you the center of the image. That's because it's actually very sharp, no matter which aperture you are. But if you do want to get pretty sharp corners, you're going to need to stop down to f5.6, f8. But all in all, at f4 you're already getting very decent resolution all across the image. Keep in mind that I'm using an A7R II, which you have 42 megapixels. That's a very challenging sensor. And this lens is really, putting it together pretty good. Images looks nice, very neutral colors. There is quite a bit of distortion, but that's to be expected with a ultra wide angle lens at 20mm. Here you can see I'm shooting directly against the sun, and again and again, and I do that because I was very impressed with the way this lens handles flares. Look at this image, there is basically no flare, and I'm shooting directly straight into the sun. I was so impressed with the lens flare performance that I removed the lens hood and I showed this picture, and you can see there is a tiny little bit of lens flare on the horse's hair. I'm being blown away with the performance when it comes to chromatic aberration and lens flare. Here you can see a very high contrast image, and the flowers and the edges of the petals of flowers, there is absolutely no chromatic aberrations. Here you can see the same, it's a lot of light coming off the window. There is no chromatic aberration. So when it comes to performance about chromatic aberration and lens flare, this lens might very well be the best lens I have ever tested, period. It's really good. When it comes to sharpness, well, That's a bit of a different story, since corner sharpness, even so, is good. Like I will compare it, I used to have the Canon 17 to 35 f2.8. That was like a soft mess, a lot of chromatic aberration, and there was a lot of vignetting. And considering this performs better at f1.8, well, it's quite impressive. But I know there are lenses from Sigma, like the 20 f1.4, which I got to test, not that much as this one, but yeah, it's a bit sharper, I guess. Here you can see that at f1.8 you can actually throw the background out pretty nicely. There is enough close distance to shoot. Here you can see even shooting portrait, you can throw the background out, so you can shoot a mid-shot portrait and still get away with some blurry background. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the section down below. What do you think about this lens? Do you think it's worth it? I personally really like it, and if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe. That will help me a lot if you do. This is Gabi from Ray Studios. Till next time.